The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service presents Let's Talk Finance, a feature exploring the various elements of the economic program.
Greetings and welcome again to Let's Talk Finance. I'm Dennis Brooks. Now, this week, we're joined by the folks from the Jamaica Civil Service Association Sports Committee. We have two co-chairs, Melanie Mullings-Arnold and Alrington Roberts.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so let's first start off by congratulating you. It is the centenary year, and you're in the throes of the centenary celebrations. There is so much that has come between 2018 and going into now, this year, 2019. We look forward to several activities. Tell us a bit about, for instance, when 100 years ago, the Civil Service Association began. Tell us a little bit about where we're coming from as an association.
Okay. Well, the Civil Service Association was born on May 6, 1919. And as you know, the trade union movement come out of the struggles, right? And it's represent people throughout the length and breadth of Jamaica. The Jamaica Civil Service Association is the only union recognized by the Constitution of Jamaica. The only union. So that show you how important a union we are. And over the 100 year, which we are moving in May 6 next year, it's going to be a blessing for us to be around for 100 years, and we are moving from strength to strength.
How big has the JCSA gotten in its 100 years? I imagine that the civil service would have been much smaller back in 1919 compared to where it is now.
It's very huge, I must say, Dennis.
Yes.
Right now, we have over 28,000 members.
Wow.
And this is a huge success for us. And we are expecting much more because we have many civil servants throughout the government service. And so we intend to recruit.
Now, when you talk about the civil service, there are many people who are lifelong civil servants. They give service to the country to which they belong, and they join membership of the Civil Service Association. How are there any members who are several decades in the association as members?
Oh, yes. And it is interesting that you should have asked that question. Recently, and we'll speak more about it along the program, but recently at the Women's Forum, we were honoring Ayuna Sams, and she's the oldest member of the civil service. She was in fact, she's still with us because we do have persons who are retired that still, they are considered members. And we awarded her for 63 years. She is the longest serving member. Yes, she is.
And so it would be that persons who would have joined the association would have seen the benefit of being a member of the Civil Service Association, and they continue to serve, or they continue to seek representation from the JCSA. How has, the mandate of the JCSA changed since 1919, Arlington?
Well, in 1919, when we came about, we came about through the struggles of the worker. And for the most part, we are doing that, but we have diversified some way, because now we are representing persons from ministry departments and agencies, executive agencies and statutory bodies, and anyone who wants to be part of the union can be part of the union. So now, you have different bargaining units that are on the platform of the industrial terrace, but the Jamaica Civil Service Association, represent the workers, and as Ms. Mullings-Arnold said, we are 28,000 strong, so that means we are attracting new persons. And as you know, the landscape of the union has changed, and the landscape of the civil service has changed, because right now you have much more persons in the working group who are young professional, master's degree, doctor's degree, first degree. So you have to change your menu to suit those persons and be attractive union where you can bring those persons in. And that's what the Civil Service Association is currently doing.
Absolutely. You mentioned, Melanie, the Women's Forum. There have been activities that have already begun in 2018 to celebrate the centenary year. Tell us a little bit about the things that have already happened, the milestones that you've celebrated so far, and some of the things to come.
Okay. So on the birthday of 2018, when we would have been 99 years, we had it would have been the 7th of May. We had the men's forum at our famous home or sporting complex, which we own at JCSA Park, the men's forum. That was a huge success.
Wow.
And in November, the Monday of Civil Service Week, we had the Women's Forum. That again was tremendous. I mean, we had persons representing from other trade unions within the Caribbean that came up as guest panelists that, we would have, asked questions and their experiences as a woman being in trade unions and just woman all around. So that was another event that happened, and that would have been the second one. And we have others to come.
But tell me a little bit about what some of the issues on the agenda were like. What were the burning gender issues? I mean, the men's forum. I mean, what did men in the JCSA want to talk about?
I would want to say for both of them, it's really discrimination. I know that from the men's forum, right now the government is looking in the whole paternal thing in giving men paternal leave.
Here, I agree.
Right? And that was born out of the whole men's forum.
Yes. Now that I remember, there was some good research that was done, driven by trade unions, to explore how we could incorporate paternity leave into our own laws. And I think that issues like that are so important.
And in fact, on that point, our president actually went to the University of the West Indies, O'Neill Grant, to make a presentation on the paternity leave, and he was well received. The Minister Grange, is actually looking into it very seriously, and I'm absolutely certain soon and very soon the Parliament will look at it, because I think Jamaican men need to have, parity with other men on the international scene. Because, in Denmark and other places in Europe, they currently have paternity leave for fathers. And I think that's a very important point as it relates to fathers. Because if you speak to a lot of mothers, they need the father support just after birth.
Indeed.
So the father will be there as long as we get this going through the Parliament and sign off on.
Indeed, and that was a conversation that we here at Nationwide even had with O'Neill Grant. So kudos to you for turning that into an important element of the discussions as a part of the celebration of their centenary year. Now, in 2019, there will be several activities. I know you have an annual general meeting. I know you have other activities that your members will be looking out for. What are some of those activities that will take place?
Okay, so next we have a series of run race, right around the island. We want to dub it our Grand Prix, all right? And following that, we'll speak more about that later. Following that, we will have on May 6th, which is our birthday, a black tie event, and this will be held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. We are looking so forward to this.
Everybody's putting on them pretty
yes, we are looking forward to it, because this is actually the birthday of the 100 year. Then after that, in June, we will have our annual retreat. But normally when we have our retreat, it is for 3 days. 2 days. But this year we'll extend it to 3 days to ensure that we have a conference on the very first day. And here we will be inviting persons from internationally to come and represent at this forum, right? Then the next thing we'll have on the agenda, which will be the final thing, is our young worker. Because we do have a young worker group who are advocating for. Mr. Roberts spoke earlier about different personalities that we have and the different how we have to change the landscape to suit our different set of workers. They will be having their forum, and that will be the very last forum.
I like that. I like that, because the Civil Service Association, as you said, 20,000 members, you're going to have different demographics. Right. You're going to have people of both genders who have their own issues. You're going to have people of different ages who have their own issues. You're going to have to incorporate their views. And I think that it's important for young people in the civil service who are building a career not to feel like, oh, you senior people don't understand us and you don't care about us. So I'm very encouraged by the fact that you're having a young workers forum. So looking into 2019, we see a lot of issues that can be put on the agenda, both to celebrate the association looking back and looking forward. How much looking forward is going to take place in terms of potential evolution of the association and change?
Well, the union is really looking forward to 2019. As the president said, we are not having any wage negotiation for 2 years, so we can really seriously look into a lot of the issues that has been, affecting workers. One of the big issue is a safe area to work in. Mm-hmm. And as you know, the OSHA bill is going through Parliament now. We are really hoping to get that through because that bill will protect the worker at the workplace.
Yes.
Right now in government, we have a lot of sick buildings. Mm-hmm. The union is seriously looking at that, but we want to know that our workers are working in a clean, safe building because, health is where it all is. So we need to have that on the agenda, and we'll be pushing for that very strongly.
So that notion that the union only make up nice and come around when it's time to negotiate wages is an absolute farce. You are actually actively involved in building the capacities of your members.
Definitely. And if you look even at the training opportunities and so, the union is pushing for a lot of training opportunities. At the Ministry of Finance presently, you have a menu of different training opportunities. You have loans, you have grant, where members of government who work with government public servants can get that benefit, can make themselves better through education, because we all know that education is one of the best places to push yourself forward to have a better life.
And as you mentioned that the Jamaica Civil Service was very instrumental in bringing or negotiating these benefits for workers. Mm-hmm. And if you should note, many times when you see persons striking and out there, and it's never the Jamaica Civil Service Association because we believe in persuasive in terms of negotiation rather than doing confrontational negotiations, right? And so over the years, our members have benefited, I should have told you, from the Blue Castle. We were the persons, several members benefited from that housing solution. We have the Union Estate where over 700 persons, civil servants, benefit because that's one of our things, because we do have a housing agency that try to retrieve these places so that members can benefit from these things that whenever the government comes up, so they can have their own homes.
Indeed. When I look at the realities facing us, I think that it's important for us to acknowledge that the modern trade union has to evolve. It has had to evolve. You, as an association, have come before the Great Depression. You survived through the Great Depression and many other economic cycles to where we are now. For the person who is a civil servant who is not a member of the JCSA, who says, I work in the ministry of such and such, but I never felt like signing up that form. What would you say to that person with that form in their hand?
Definitely say to that person, don't wait until you need a friend, you seek a friend. Because the union, if you have any grievance with your employee, which is the government, the union will provide you with an attorney at law. The union will provide you with sound, solid information to carry you through. And the union will walk with you every step of the way from the beginning of the grievance until we win the victory. So don't wait until you need a friend, you seek a friend. And the trade union movement and the Jamaica Civil Service Association is the best friend you can have while you are working.
Indeed. And also, while you're working, if you're a member of the association, you can get scholarships and you can improve yourself. And
you can get loans.
Before you know it, you may come out with
you can own a home.
Yeah, you may end up, Dr. So-and-so and so because of your membership.
And the training opportunities that the union has fought hard for.
Indeed. Thank you very much. We have to wrap up the conversation. I'm going to have you back next week. Thank you very much.
Definitely, because we have a whole lot more to say.
Oh, definitely. Thank you very much to Alrington Roberts and Melanie Mullings-Arnold. They are both co-chairs of the JCSA Sports Committee, and they have been my guest here in Let's Talk Finance. We'll be back next week.
That was Let's Talk Finance, brought to you by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service.